Communication issues. This is actually more important than the techie issues. The techie issues are always going to happen. The communication issues will actually cause a little bit more trouble for you if you don't get this right than the tech issues, because the tech issues are always going to pop up. You're going to figure out how to deal with them, and they're actually a blessing, because the more tech issues you deal with, the better you are, the more skilled you are as an online business owner, which we all are. The communication issues will cost you money. So the first one here is a mistake in your copy, and this could be just something as simple as a typo or the wrong image. When I say wrong image, a lot of us are now, and this will likely be the case for you, you're probably going to do a sales page where you have a headline and then maybe a video and then maybe a little bit of text explaining your offer, but you might include some images that show your product in action or show the box cover or whatever. And in some cases, you might flip the wrong image in there, or the images are out of sequence because you're putting a whole bunch of them in. We do this all the time. We have tons of images that load on our sales page, or we accidentally use a really large like PNG image where we should be using something like a GIF or a JPEG that's way smaller, and it's causing our page to take forever to load. So you want to make sure that you're not making any mistakes in terms of sizing or the images that you use, but also just in the typos. We had an affiliate the other day catch a typo in our actual product, in our built-in sales letter. And it's just one of those things where it's not a huge deal for most people, but there are some people that will look at it, and if there's like a glaring typo, like I've had a typo in my headline on a launch before, and the guy like just went to town on us. He was a little hard in my opinion, but at the same time, we kind of deserved it. Like, if you're going to present an offer, like try your best to make sure at least your headline doesn't have typos in it, because it just it's a reflection of the quality of your attention to detail. At the same time, I don't want you not launching because you're paranoid about making a mistake. It's going to happen. Correct it. Be prepared to screw up. But again, at the same time, have something in place. So what I suggest is, before you launch, have a trusted partner or a team or a mastermind. You could even go to the ProdCreate Facebook group and ask people to do a quick once over for you, or have an editor go through both the spelling and grammar as well as the images and the text inside of those images, right? On one of our launches, this was really cool. One of our launches, we were doing an infographic offer, and the sale itself was fine. The sales pitch was great, but the customer bought it and found a bunch of typos in the actual infographic, and she was actually quite frustrated that she had just spent all this money and then she had to fix these problems. So I dealt with her. I offered her some additional bonus products to apologize, and turned her around, which was great. And then she actually offered to correct all the errors for me in exchange for another pack of infographics. So it worked out awesome, because it's just an example of how you may annoy somebody, or whatever reason you make a typo or a mistake. You can always turn those situations around to work in your favor. It happens more times than I can count. But again, you can prevent a lot of these issues. Next one was miscommunication in your offer / misleading. So there's a couple of things here. The word when I said misleading there, I want to actually give you an example of something I did once that I guess it was considered misleading, although obviously, for those of you that know me, I wouldn't intentionally mislead anybody. Why would I damage my reputation to make a $20 sale? It doesn't make any sense. But what had happened was, on our Winning Ways launch, which was back in the fall of 2013, that was our most successful launch ever. We had an upsell product where we basically had the front end was a PLR product. It was like a 1-year program, and then the upsell was, we took that program and we built it into a WordPress site, kind of done for you. And actually, no, it wasn't Winning Ways. It was another one. But anyways, effectively what we did was, we took all this content, we put it into a WordPress site, and then we password protected those posts because it's premium content. And we kind of said, hey, you can sell the ebook, or you can sell this WordPress site as a membership site. And the way I pitched it was like, I called it a done for you member site, which kind of implies that there was like a membership system, and it was all kind of like, the software was running and it was done for you. But really all I did was password protect posts. But my headline says done for you membership site. And then in the video, I actually explain what what it is. So I kind of, even if you had assumed that, you kind of understand that it's a password protected thing. But the problem is a lot of people don't watch sales videos. So I had this one guy buy it. And then he went through and he realized this isn't a done for you membership site per se. It's more of a done for you WordPress site with password protected posts. Semantics maybe, but I probably should have been more careful with my wording. I should have said done for you WordPress site, not done for you membership site. It's a matter of understanding your audience. My audience equates the word membership site with some kind of software that allows you to immediately sell a membership, not password protected posts. So I agreed with him that he had a valid point. So I changed my copy, obviously. No one else complained. So I offered him a refund. He actually was fine with it. He was really mad at first. Like, he had sent this scathing email that I was misleading people and all these different things. So part of that was me owning up to the fact that, okay, I do agree with you to an extent. Clearly, I wasn't trying to mislead if you watch my video, but my headline, I agree, was potentially misleading. The lesson here is that it was a miscommunication, and that's on me. The headline was not a total, complete, accurate representation of the product. So I corrected the error and moved on, and everything was fine. But it's something you want to take into consideration. Anything you do is a reflection of you and your product and your reputation and your company. So whether it's your headline, whether it's your sales videos, you want to make sure that you're as abundantly clear as you can possibly be. And again, this goes back to the first point. Sometimes you might want to have other people look at it and make sure they see this product the same way you see it. The other part I want to say about this is I've had affiliates or I've had marketers and business owners promote me saying, can you promote my offer? They send me their sales page. I read the thing, and maybe you folks have seen this as well. I read it and I really don't totally understand what I'm getting. Like, and in their head they do, but there's a lot of the cases where I really don't fully understand their offer. And sometimes it's just because they're trying to use all these fancy copywriting techniques, and they're trying to do all these things that fancy copywriters do that, push psychological buttons that get me to buy. And they forget the most fundamental part of selling, which is not writing persuasive copy. It's making sure people understand what they're getting. So I always tell people, make sure that your sales letter can dumb it down so that anybody can just read A, B, C, D, E. I'm getting this. I understand the benefits, but I also understand the features. Okay, you need to explain the features as well as the benefits. So when I buy, it's going to be this, this, this. I click this button and I get this. Okay, there's no confusion here. If there's any confusion, you're going to lose sales. You're also going to frustrate people, or they're going to get to the download page and they see something different than what they expected. The whole miscommunication or misunderstanding will often come down to running it by people. Misunderstanding in your content, the third bullet point. I just want to give you a quick example for this. So on the last launch we did, it was 100 presenter tips, like little quick tips that if you're doing presentations or if you want to become a speaker, you should know these things. On the sales letter, it was buy these 100 tips today, packaged and repurposed into 6 formats: ebook, autoresponder series, social media posters, audio, video, slide decks. Right? Pretty obvious offer, no issues there. A checklist at the end before a buy button of you get this, 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 and this. If you like it, buy now. Clear. Then they get to the download page, and my download page said, all right, thanks for buying. Here's download number, or here's zip part 1, and here's zip part 2. And we had at least 6 or 7 people, maybe even more, say, where are the other 4 parts? Because my offer was a 6-part offer, and then my download page was part 1 and part 2. This is a tiny little thing, but think about it. In their minds, they're going, well, this was a 6-part offer. I'm ripped off. The one guy actually charged back his credit card because he only got 2/6 of the thing, even though we answered his support ticket, which he obviously chose to ignore or didn't see it or whatever, which is also infuriating, and it's going to happen to you. But that's also, again, looking myself in the mirror. How could I have done that better? I should have said something to the degree of, this is a large download. We had to break it into 2 halves. Here's the first half. Here's the second half. That's exactly what I did on the current launch, which is a very similar structure. And we haven't had any complaints yet. So that's a small little issue. And you're going to learn your own lessons on the fly. But again, try to think from your customer's shoes. Something like that little example could save you some money and could also save you some headaches at your help desk. Unclear offer or purchase process. I kind of covered that already in terms of making sure people know what they're getting. Don't confuse them with all your crazy, psychological sales copy stuff. Do that stuff, but not in replacement of making it clear. But also the purchase process. A lot of the times, my purchase process is very simple. Click the buy button, put your information in, check your email for the download link. That's simple. When you buy my membership, am I going to pull it up? Actually, I won't pull it up now because I don't even know what the page is. But on my membership, when you join through something like JVZoo, we have a special purchase process where it's like you click the buy now button, then you're going to get to a welcome page. Then you're going to get 2 emails, one from JVZoo and one from our DAP system with your username and password. So we actually explain, step A, B, C, D. Before they click the buy button, we tell them, here's what's going to happen when you click buy. And then they actually, in their minds, they go, okay, I know I expect this, and I expect this. Before, we never used to do that, and we had a ton of issues because people would see the receipt email come in that just says, here's your transaction information. Then they wouldn't check their email, or it would go to their spam box or something. They wouldn't even know that there was a second email coming with their username and password. So if you tell them that ahead of time, you'll reduce the complexity and you'll have fewer issues. Second to last one, affiliates setting wrong expectations. Not a lot you can do about this, but just be aware that sometimes this happens. There are some affiliates that just love to promote a ton of stuff, and so they'll inaccurately promote your offer. Maybe they'll say there's more in it than it does, or they'll incorrectly talk about let's say your upgrade. If you do a front end offer with an upgrade, I've had affiliates say, and the video for this is really awesome, forgetting that they actually have to buy the upgrade to even get that video. So be prepared for that to happen. Not much you can do other than making your JV pages when you're recruiting affiliates and you explain to them your offer. Make sure that you're very clear that here's how you're supposed to pitch this thing. I give all of my affiliates swipe copy, which is basically just a pre-written email suggesting here's some things you might want to say when you do your broadcast. And then another one is payment email versus communication email. This is a big one, right? People pay with one PayPal, or they use one email address for PayPal, but then they use like a Gmail address or something else for their for all their opt-ins for their newsletters that they subscribe to. So what I suggest is on your download page, have some kind of manual opt-in. And I put this in my members area as well, where I tell them, look, we've already added your payment address by default to our mailing list. That's just the way it works. But that doesn't mean you're going to see these updates, and a lot of them are going to be pretty important. So please make sure you put your best email address. I'm sure you've seen this before, but I just want to remind anybody listening, if you haven't thought of this, tell the customer, put your best email address here so that you get all of the updates, future offers, and so on.